and welcome to Bubbles and Breakdowns, a space designed for you to show up as your beautifully imperfect self, where we dive into the good, the bad, and the bubbly. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Katrina. And it's so hard to believe we're sitting here in the last month of 2025. I feel like the older we get, Ashley, the faster these years are going by.
Well, and when my daughter asks what year I was born in, and I say 1985, she looks at me like I was in the original Oregon Trail.
And you got dysentery.
Yeah, she's like, 19 what? I was like, I know.
We're now vintage, or even more. I don't even know what we are, but I'm excited because this particular episode is going to be a special one for the end of year. We're going to dive deep into some of the goals. You know, we like goals on this podcast. We talk about them often.
Goals. Gold digger.
Gold. I like that. I don't have to dig too hard. I constantly am trying to come up with things to do. But 12 months ago, we went into this with aspirations of ways that we could improve ourselves. And we want to share some honest, unfiltered, as we like to do on here, reflections on maybe where we nailed it and maybe where we failed at it. And maybe some of the lessons we've learned about ourselves or things that we could take forward to recalibrate. So this moment can serve as a crucial step of reflection to continue to move forward in a positive direction in our lives. And it's not just about us sitting here being like, were we good? Were we bad? This is not a judgment episode. This is more about kind of what were we set out to do? What did we accomplish? So celebrating those things, but then saying kind of what got in the way. And are these even goals that we want to carry forward into the future?
Absolutely. And I think that's a really important part because I think as we grow, we learn more about ourselves year to year, right? So maybe we're just not meant to pursue that anymore, and that's okay.
Yeah, I love that so much. Or like maybe it sounded great at the time and it just kind of died on the vine, which is good too. So Ashley, I don't know, what were some of your goals as you're thinking about this last year?
So many. I feel like the two, I would say, biggest ones that I would categorize mine under would be health/weight loss and technology.
Ooh, I did not have that technology. That's interesting.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, it's more about like less cell phone use.
Oh,
less
yeah, okay.
TV. So it's kind of like in that bucket in my mind. I would say I always start out so strong. I'm such a, like, again, extremist, right? Going in balls to the wall. I get burnt out from doing it. And then it's like December 31st, 2025. And you're like, oh man, let's do it again. Because we started out strong. So I feel like I'd love to kind of revisit those, but I think the big one about health was eating healthy, trying to lose weight like I always want to. But it's really, I think this is the biggest year of this self-discovery about being healthy that I'm realizing it feels good to lose weight, not just what it was reflecting on the scale.
Right.
And I think that mindset, I think I discovered that a little later this year. So going into 2026, I really want to fold that back in, but have it in that more positive tone, if that makes sense.
Like this is an investment in yourself.
Correct.
I feel better when I'm doing this. Yes. It's such a confidence thing, the weight loss.
Oh, yeah.
Of just like self-confidence, but then showing up for yourself. And it's showing up in all those little decisions. Like, am I going to have that donut? Or am I going to have that extra shot of mocha in my latte? Or am I going to
I thought you were going to say vodka.
Or vodka. or yeah, like a chocolate martini. Am I going to lick the glass? By the way, I totally have done it. I mean. But like, yeah, all those little moments, those like micro moments that add up to, am I being healthy? Am I making healthy decisions? It's enduring.
It really is.
It's an enduring process.
Yes. And then I think the second one was technology, which again, that buckets into like less phone time, less screen time for everybody, right? Yeah. And really just like detaching. And now that we're in December 2025 and like there's like Christmas stuff everywhere and like these holidays, there's more, I think, things to focus on that make you feel that warmth of togetherness without the outside distraction. So it kind of has been like looming back in to be like, Ashley, you don't need a movie on in the background for everybody, or take the iPad away because we've got these other things that fill that void, but also that togetherness is just like more apparent. So started out strong in that too and kind of failed, but I don't know. I'd love to hear what were yours for 2025. I feel like Katrina, again, the scholar, she I gotta say this. We walked into this episode. She's like, has this piece of paper. It looks like it's been through some things. There's tape on the back of it. And I'm like, what is this? She's like writing on it. And she said, this is my 2025 goal list that I taped in my bathroom. And I was like, I want to be you. Like, I'm going to do that this year now, because what a better way to remind yourself than to have it present.
I love it.
In somewhere you go every morning. And every night.
It's that cue. It's that reminder that I was like, gosh, if we don't look at these every day, we're going to forget about them.
Totally.
And I went kind of bonkers this last year because, I mean, after you get out of the doldrums, if you will, of raising these like tiny kids.
I'm still in the doldrums.
Yeah, it's okay. You're going to get out of there. And you're currently getting out of there. But you then can say, okay, now that I have energy and I'm not so sleep deprived and I like feel like more of a human being, what can I do? Like, how can I make the most, or am I in repair mode? Mm-hmm. I feel like I was in a major repair mode. There was a lot of things in my life.
Can you, explain that a little more? What does repair mode mean?
So when we get caught up in the needs of others, i.e., in this case, my children, trying to figure out how to be a mother, right? Everything can get in disrepair, whether it's you just eat the mac and cheese that's left over on the plates, or, maybe you just aren't carving out time for self-care like we've talked about on the podcast, or maybe you're just not investing in the relationship with your spouse. You're not making time for date nights, or you're not making time to achieve things that you would otherwise in a perfect world achieve. So when I say repair, it's like all those things that were slowly breaking on the peripheral of me trying to figure out what it meant to be a mom to young kids. So it's my moment of repairing, aspects of myself that otherwise prior to children, I was fairly accomplished at, or had the time to do, or made the time to do. Does that make sense?
It definitely does. And I love looking at it that way too, because things can be fixed. Mm-hmm. I think that's a great way to look at things, where if you want something to get better, it can. You can fix it. You can change. You can pivot.
Absolutely.
And that's just really beautifully said.
Well, thank you. Yeah. So I, like Ashley said, I'm a bit type A. I don't know if I am a true scholar, but I am organized. And so I organized my resolutions into 6 different categories. At the top, though, I had these words, like they were kind of like my self-fulfilling prophecy of where do I need to focus my energy? And it was really done through thorough research by like a quiz on Instagram. So like very, very, very strong vetted backing. Like it's basically Myers-Briggs, right? So, but my words were health, alignment, family, and self-care. And all 4 of those things spoke to me tremendously. My health had been in disrepair. My health had been in a struggling place. Alignment meant like being true to myself, and family is family. Like, how do I build this family unit? How do I spend time with my family? And then self-care, how do I give back to myself in a way that I don't feel so deprived? All of those things were very, very near and dear to me. But the 6 categories where I like then kind of got like a little bonkers, right, Ashley? And started to bucket things that I wanted to do in each of them was mindfulness, health and wellness, family, creativity, relationships, and financial. And so I think each of those were important aspects, right? I was like, we are as people, and saying to ourselves, like, what does good look like for you to increase your mindfulness? What does good look like for you for health and wellness? So like mindfulness, I had a goal of no cell phones in bed, 10 minutes of meditation a day, and nightly restorative yoga pose before bed. Okay, guess what? I did the no cell phones in bed. I nailed that one.
I feel like that's the hardest one.
It was hard, but it also like, you talk about extremists. When you pick something in your mind that says, I know this is going to be hard, but you can do hard things, and you just like put the phone somewhere else. And then what also helped me with that, Ashley, was like envisioning if the phone was by my bed, that it was somehow making my sleep worse.
Yeah. Like
that somehow like the electronic frequencies were like, so I'm like, this thing cannot be near me. It needs to be outside of the room.
I'm like really proud of that. Do you have like a digital alarm clock?
Oh, they're called children. I don't really need an alarm clock.
So same. I feel like there's sometimes it's a fluke. Like my son slept in today and it was 7. So it wasn't really sleeping in.
Right.
But like, those are those moments where I'm like, oh, what if it was 7:30? And I'm like, we got to get out the door to school. So I feel like that is one thing I want to also carry on is the no phones.
Yeah, it's such a big game changer. And also what I noticed with this one, for anyone who's thinking like, as we're talking, oh, I really need to do this, here are the benefits I experienced if it's helpful. Like Matt and I would talk more. We'd go through our day, and we committed this to each other. There have been the occasional time where we've had our phone in a bed. Very, very few times. I could probably count them on 2 hands over the course of almost 365 days. So I'm very proud of that. Or I'm like, hey, just look it up. Like we're talking about something like, can you please just look it up? Like I can't remember when so-and-so's birthday party is or whatever it was, like using it as a tool rather than like a crutch to lull you to sleep. So like we would talk more. There were moments where we were going to sleep where we're like laughing and like we like literally are getting into this like place we hadn't been in our relationship for a very long time. So I would say the benefits from like a relationship perspective was huge. But I also think on a like getting to sleep quicker, it helped me because I wasn't being kept awake by this blue light or, you know, constant like getting down the rabbit hole of reels.
So many I literally feel like every website is a rabbit hole too. Amazon. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I could look for hours.
I know. You're like, I might need that.
I know. And, so a funny story. So Brad has like a shared list with for some of his friends where they put like camping equipment or like things
fun.
for people to buy. So it's like cool finds. And somehow the things I was adding to my list was going into that camping list.
Oh my gosh,
and Brad's
that's hilarious.
Can you delete like Gabby's Playhouse and 3 sequence dresses?
See, those are the decisions that get made in bed at night with your phone.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. Your friends are seeing what I'm saving.
Oh my gosh.
It almost felt like intrusive.
Yeah, you're like, I need a new sports bra. Whoops.
I know. This is like the inner workings of my mind. Or like 5 different pairs of shoes for my daughter for Christmas. I'm like, oh my gosh, let me just.
Isn't it crazy?
It is so crazy. But no, I love that. So, okay, so you nailed.
I nailed the no phones in bed. The meditation I failed at. I continue to fail at meditation. And the restorative position, which is basically like legs up in the air against a wall, or like it's
lymphatic drainage. It's
actually like circulation of your blood back to your heart, which I have a challenged heart in terms of like high blood pressure and just like it runs in my family. So like I'm like, oh, that would be good for me. Didn't do it. But the next category, health and wellness, we shared this like weight loss. So the goal actually said lose 15 pounds by March 31st. I didn't lose it by March 31st. It was probably more like September, but I did lose, and I have kept off the 15 pounds. So nailed that.
Woohoo.
And then the next one was resolved plantar fasciitis, which I did. I still get a little pain here and there, but like I can run for 4 miles. Like I can run again. And so that has been a huge, huge, huge accomplishment. The last one, strength training 2 times a week. I didn't do that. I've got the gym set up. I'm using the treadmill, but I'm like staring at the weights being like, not today. Still today. Like still having a problem. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Family. I had a big one of reducing my travel for work. A lot of times I'll feel like obligated to take the trip. And instead, like I had a conversation with my manager at the time, and they supported me, you know, saying no when I could say no. And my team also supported me in that too, because it is really hard on my family and my children. We had reduced kids' screen time, which was another one that kind of you shared. And really why it's under family is because it gives us more family time. Like you can play more games, you know, you're playing Trouble or you're playing Chutes and Ladders instead of turning a screen on. And I think we've been kind of like middle of the road. Maybe it's like half nail, half fail. Like it just depends, you know? And like you said, like, oh, it kind of creeps back in.
Totally.
It does. It's one of those things like you have to check.
I think it's per day. Like
right.
If you've had a hard day, if they have a hard day, sometimes it is that crutch to kind of get you through, right? But I also sometimes, like the other day, we were like, no screens today, just figure it out.
I love it.
And Brad and I were getting stuff down around the house.
Yes.
And the things they were coming up with were so creative.
Yes.
And the way they were playing was just I was like, oh, this was me as a kid. Like
It's
I
like
remember
90s childhood back in life. Yeah.
totally. And like, that's all I kind of want for my kids now.
I know. And
is
it's important.
Yes. Use your creativity, use your words, use your imagination, and play with your little brother and your big sister and just have that moment.
And big plug for our bubbly book club, The Anxious Generation. That book, I've started reading this. I don't know if you've had time or made time yet. And like it really supports exactly what you're just saying, like just the importance of free play and failing and being bored, you know, and just like figuring it out and not having a screen or any device that's just like chalking stuff into our brains and like stealing and grabbing our attention and giving you these dopamine hits that are not sustainable.
Totally. So, and just like raising smart, strong kids.
Right.
Who are going to be able to succeed, right?
Like fall off their bike and they're like, I fell off my bike down the road, but I figured out how to walk it home and I didn't like get paralyzed with fear, you know? Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So yeah, other stuff, like I don't want to get too like, oh, me, but I did have a creativity bucket. A big goal of mine was to write my book, which is
snaps
in progress, and I have made great strides. I'm likely to have my quote-unquote shitty first draft done by the end of the year, which is a huge step. This has been something that has been a big goal of mine over the past almost 7 years, which is wild to say. Wild. So, but yeah, I look forward to sharing more about that. We also, Matt and I, we committed to playing one open mic night. We did. I sang Pink Pony Club. It was ridiculous and hilarious.
It was absolutely amazing.
But we did it. I didn't start my intuitive cooking kind of like recording things. I have this whole like plan to share how to become an intuitive cook, which is to learn about food and seasoning and silly stuff like that.
That is not silly.
Yeah, but I haven't done it. So, you know, it fell by the wayside. Other things took priority and I feel like, okay, I'm at peace with failing that one, right?
Totally.
But another category of relationships. So my husband and I, we wanted to have monthly date nights, and I'm going to give us a nailed it on this. Like we worked hard. Maybe it wasn't every single month. Maybe it was like 6 weeks, not every 4 weeks. But we definitely prioritized our date nights. Visiting my mom more. I feel like I've done a better job about being intentional with that. I did not get to visit my brother. That was on my list. So failed that one. Maybe that'll change if I get the gumption here in the next 2 weeks. And last bucket for me, guys, is financial. So number one for me was to really evaluate my career. And I have spent a great deal of time doing that. I have spent a great deal of time thinking about that, especially as it relates to the word of alignment. In my words of the year was saying, like, how does this job align to me? And I think there's so many beautiful aspects about the career that I get to be a part of. And I have really harnessed around the things that feel very aligned to me and tried to quiet the voice of parts of the career that maybe feel less aligned to me. So I'm excited for the future of my career and just kind of ensuring that I'm seeking alignment and being authentic.
I mean, I think you were so true to your list. And I've been kind of like thumbing through my phone.
Good, yeah.
Only because I completely forgot I did a vision board last year.
Oh, you did? Tell me what was on it. Because I feel like I'm going through this whole thing.
I know. I literally am just like, oh my, shows you how committed to my goals I was. I forgot I did a vision board. No, but it was so fun. It was a part of my book club. And
oh, that's right. Yeah.
We did, the biggest thing on there was a microphone.
And here we are.
So that's a big part of my story this year. Exactly. And I think we talk about this, how like we supported each other to get to this space, to be able to do that. Oh my gosh, where's my vision board? I'm trying to find it. I'm so sorry.
I love it. If we can find a picture, maybe we could share it with the audience.
Absolutely. And I do remember it was podcast, finding a dream home.
Oh, you did. It's beautiful.
Like looking back, it's like being more present.
Yep. When you are
a stay-at-home mom now this year, that is really kind of freaking me out a little bit now that I forgot about it. B, that actually all those things happened.
It's amazing. And the power of a vision board is like
so strong.
It's studied. Like there is so much health in verbalizing, visualizing, like putting it out in the universe that, like you just said, I didn't even look at it. But the fact that you put that somewhere and that was something that came out to you as you're thumbing through magazines and you popped it on a board.
Right.
Like it somehow found you. And podcast wasn't on here for me. I think in a way, like the podcast replaced my intuitive cooking kind of idea because we hadn't even talked about it. Like this was your this was your brainchild. And so, yeah, that's really cool. You
gosh.
should feel very proud of yourself.
I am. And it just looks so crazy because I'm like, oh, technology and whatever, like health. And obviously those are two things that I really wanted to change, like those daily changes. But I think those bigger impacts, right, to your year.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. I'm like sorry guys, I'm having like a come to Jesus moment, just being like, whoa, this is crazy that actually did happen.
But that's the thing about this exercise of reflection and why you have to focus on where you achieved is that you do forget.
Yes.
And then it also, like, if you don't take the moment to practice gratitude and recognize all that you have built and brought into your life, you don't ever fully realize your success. Like, we kind of just, oh yeah, of course I got that, or of course I found the house, or like da-da-da. And like, you're not taking those moments of really cherishing it, you know, and respecting like all that you have done. Could I have sat here a year ago and been like, there's no, like, I will not have my phone in my bed. I feel very confident I could do that 95% of the time. No, I would have been like, yeah, right. This is like the only way to get to sleep.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure. Well, and even like talking about that now, I think I work really well too. And I think I'm going to take this in when I start to do goal setting for next year is I don't want these to be yearly goals. I might have quarters because I work very well on like a shorter time frame.
Yeah.
To push, take a break. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think I'm going to, when I go back into setting for 2026, I think I'm going to bring that in.
That's awesome. I think deadlines, I'm a deadline person too.
Same.
Like, it's hard when they're so enduring, and that's why I try to do the weight by a certain date, but like, it just wasn't the season for it. But I will tell you, you know, things that can propel your goals, at least like from my experience, was, I talked about this in a prior episode, like with the weight loss. Plantar fasciitis can be contributed to by both perimenopause, but also like excessive weight, because I think there's some kind of stat where, and don't quote me on this, but it's like every 1 pound of weight we carry, it's 3 pounds on our joints. And so it's like, you think about that compounding weight on your poor little foot, and I'm like trying to jog, and it's probably so painful for my little plantar, my little fascia. But, and then also a doctor last year, put that, obesity, class 1 obesity on my health report, which, by the way, I just requested to be taken off this week.
Whoop,
so
whoop.
I'm like, I'm no longer in that. So please remove that, because no. And then I was also diagnosed with mild sleep apnea. And you kind of put all those things together of being like, these are reasons that you need to do the thing.
Totally.
Like, they are reasons to motivate you to really reach that goal, because it's not just about like fitting in the pair of jeans. It's about your health.
It's the health lens.
Right.
And I really think, and it took me 40 years to get there. And I think once you put that lens over your goal, it makes it that much more important and a little scary.
Yeah.
Because I think
you can't go back.
You can't. And I think it shows your focus needs to be here, and there's so much outside noise, like we talked about before, the food noise, the busyness noise, the I've got stuff to do noise, like putting everything else in front of like your plans. And it just it shouldn't be that way anymore. This should be paramount. And I think that helps propel it to where it needs to be.
Reframe it a bit.
Yes,
right? Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think it's all about, you know, taking away that, oh, it's so cute that I ate this entire bag of chocolates or something. Like, no, hilarious. I just like was translating on the couch for hours. It's
or like girl dinner.
Yeah,
I had like 8 s'mores and like a box of mac and cheese.
Yeah, and it's
and 2 chips.
It's like, no, honey, it's not cute.
It's not.
Like, we're of a certain age. This isn't cute. And there's real health markers to consider.
Totally.
So I think as we continue to invest in ourselves, as we look forward, it's like, you know, these are all going to propel us to think differently, like you said, about like writing our goals. So I don't know, like we could talk about like what still resonates with you of your goals. Like what do you want to carry forward as you think about, I mean, I can't wait. I love goal setting. So.
Same. I mean, I think, same as last year, but I think I'm going to do another vision board because I think I'm at this phase, and I think this is apparent in a lot of these episodes. I'm still kind of finding myself, to be honest. Like,
same.
The things that are a little deeper, I need to think, because I'm so, where I am at in my life is just, I feel like I just am doing.
Yeah.
And I haven't had enough time to sit and think. So I think that vision board really helps me resurface, or to your point, like, just like, what do I gravitate towards to be like, yeah, that is a goal I want to do. Right. Like the podcast, I think I've mentioned this before. My husband bought me this amazing equipment 2019. So 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And it's just like, it happened. And it was like, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for how that came to be. And I need more time to reflect on what else could complement that, I think. You know what I mean? But I think caring for definitely the health, definitely the technology aspects.
Right.
But as far as my bigger goals, I'm too tired right now. Is that sad to admit?
But you could be in this moment of hibernation, which, by the way, it's totally normal around this season for us to go and hibernate and not be ready to make big lofty goals.
Totally. And what's the what is that? The Swedish or no Heige?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, you don't?
No.
I feel like this was like a couple years ago. This big like.
Oh wait, maybe
it's like Hygee. Sorry, listeners. Heige? Sure,
maybe.
But it's literally the Swedish, Dutch. I don't know, some Eastern European country.
Scandinavian.
Maybe. Seriously, maybe.
Okay.
But it's just like that essence of hibernating and being calm and being like, why there's something about the animals do it.
I love it.
Let's do it for ourselves. So I kind of take that to heart. But yeah, I think going forward, I'm going to do some self-discovery, do a vision board. But again, I think health is paramount for me next year.
I love it. So
what about you? I feel like you nailed a lot.
No.
I failed a lot.
Well, I did of course, because I take it here, I have to do like a percent achievement. I did like a 60%, nailed it. So I think anything over 50% is like, we should be celebrating that.
Totally.
Yeah. And honestly, even if I only did 2 out of my 18 on here, I think I still would have felt proud, because making changes in your life can be difficult. We have to give ourselves kind of like the reasons why. We have to continue to keep ourselves motivated. We have to wake up and have a cue that shows us like, get your butt into gear, get exercising. Or, we have to have something that's going to be a reward for us too.
Totally.
Like, why am I doing this? If we don't have a reward system in place for these goals, it gets really, really hard. So goal pants, whatever it is.
Totally. And I think this is used to be a prevalent thing when I was working, is what's the why?
Right.
But that really is so important, because it reminds you of why you're doing what you want to do or where you're setting out to. So if you don't have that foundation of that setup of what this is why I want to do this, you might not succeed.
Absolutely. It's the carrot, the carrot principle. It's like you have to have a carrot that you're going for. And I think, cheers to everybody as you're kind of going into this moment of reflection at the end of the year. Hopefully you can make time for that amidst the busyness of this holiday season. We know there's a lot of things that add up on our to-do list at this time of year. But there's nothing more important, I think, Ashley, than us taking time to celebrate where, how far we've come, and then to really chart our course for like where we're headed and what we want for ourselves. Because we have a whole nother 365 days ahead of us to make some strides. So I don't know. And with that, guys, just remember,
after every breakdown,
don't forget the bubbles. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope that if you're enjoying this, that you've already found us on social with Bubbles and Breakdowns, as well as take an opportunity to rate us and review us if you're on Spotify or Apple. We so appreciate each of you, and look forward to hearing us again. I hope that you look forward to hearing us again next week.
Yes, absolutely. And remember, when you're looking to set those goals, it's about intention and purpose.
I love it.
So get back to your roots and drink the bubbles.
Cheers.
Bye.